everyone, my name's Sally and welcome to the Dressage with Sally channel. Today we are taking the workouts that I normally have as a static photo and we are bringing it into the video. So I hope that you enjoy this change of format, and today's workout is coming from the Dressage with Sally Novice Workout Guide. So today's workout is 3A. I'll put it in as a pop-up and you can take a screenshot. Okay, so for 3A we've got a 3-loop serpentine in working trot from A to C, and then we are trotting all the way around to E. And at E we're going to turn left, and at B we're going to turn right. So this is going to test your accuracy, and with the serpentine you really want to be nailing your center lines. So of course you'll come around, each loop of the serpentine crosses the center line, and you then keep going to cross the center line again. Where a lot of riders really struggle is that once they hit the center line, they're not parallel to the short side. So you really, if the horse isn't parallel to the short side, you're effectively cutting the corner of your next curve, and if you're cutting that corner, it's going to shift where it lands, and the sizes and the lines are going to be a mess. It's not going to be ideal. So whenever you're riding a serpentine, make sure that once you hit that center line, you're parallel to the short side or the other short side, and that is what's going to help you keep the shape and keep the size and the line nice and round and where everything needs to be. Now, once your serpentine's finished, it's not a time to have a big, whew, I've done that, yay, because you've got other stuff to go on to do. At E, you've got to turn, and the hard thing about turning at E is that you're leaving a wall. And when a horse leaves a wall, they really want to stick. They want to stick on that wall. So when you do this exercise to begin with, it might pay to cut your corner, to start that turn a little earlier. And that way, if your horse does get stuck on the wall, you're not going to end up with a big wheelie coming round to finish the shape. So you're turning left at E, and then you're going to turn right at B. Now that of course is easier because you're about to run into a wall. So there's a physical barrier there that for the eye of both horse and rider, that is going to help you get that right hand turn. So that the left turn at E is going to be the hard one, the left turn at E is going to be the hard one, the right turn at B, that's the easier one. However, after B, you still have to stay on that long side. You've got to be able to have the horse, coming off your inside leg enough and have the inside hind leg engaged enough so that it can just power down the wall, and you're not making little S shapes as you go along. Because then once you've done that, you then get to start the whole process again. So you're going to go straight into another serpentine from A after you've made your turn at B. And again, so at A, you're into your 3-loop serpentine. Don't go into the corner, so be careful. It's an easy trap to get stuck on the wall, and then at A, you're still stuck on that wall even though it's a short side, and you find yourself too much into the corner, and then you're going to make like a squarish serpentine, and that line isn't really going to work either. So cut your corner a little bit at the beginning of your serpentine. That will give you a little bit of a kickstart to get your shape better. Of course, if you're nailing serpentines, then you'll know what kind of balance you need coming into A before you even start. And balance is all about balance is what it's all about. The more balance you have, the more engagement you've got, the better connection you've got, and vice versa as well. So as you come into A for your next serpentine, you want your 3 loops. Again, make sure you're parallel to the short sides as you go over the center line, and always be looking ahead. Don't just look, you know, in front of the horse's face. Plan ahead and use that peripheral vision. That's what it's there for. It's there to be able to see what's coming up, get a feel for the space. You want to be able to say, all right, so we're going round there and there's a shadow that I want to go over, or there's a leaf that I want to miss, or whatever. You know, you have your line in mind and really map it out in your head, so that as you're going there, it's just like following a GPS, but it's up here. And for some riders, that takes a lot of practice. And don't be afraid, you know, don't be afraid to try it and keep working at it, because that's what's going to make you a brilliant test rider. So once we've finished our second serpentine, we then have another turn right, turn left. So we're going straight down the wall to B for a turn right at B. Again, we're leaving the wall. Remember, that's harder. The horse will want to stick to the wall. And so leave the wall a little early, and as you get better, as you get more practice with this one, you'll then be able to make your corner as sharp or as accurate as you like, or as depending on where the horse is at. If you're riding a baby horse, you're not going to have sharp corners at this stage, and that's fine. So your turn right is at B, and then you've got the turn left at E. That's the easy part, down the straight for a completion at A. Or the workouts are designed that you can start the whole thing again. So you can go straight back into it, and you can we've suggested here that you do 2 of them if that's as many as you want to do, but don't do more than 2 before having a rest. So by all means do 1 if that's enough for you, have a little break. If you need more, then go ahead and do 2 in a row. You can just keep following on from where you left off. And once you've finished, have a pat and a rest. Make sure you give your horse a reward and, you know, good job, well done, so that they know that, you know, what they did was good. So a couple of coaching tips. Firstly, make sure you've got your horse in between each rein. You know, really keep both sides connected. There's lots of corners and turns and changes of flexion and bend. Make sure that the rein stays connected the whole time. It's really, really easy to let one rein drop as you're changing from one side to the other. So that's a bit of a pressure point, or a bit of a tip. Make sure you've got that connection, and spend some time focusing on that. Once you've had a go and you know where you're going, have another go, but focus on, say, the reins or the connection. And then the other tip or pressure point is, so here we've got some curves and then we've got some turns. Really differentiate between the two. Be careful not to turn your curves into corners. Be careful not to turn your corners into curves. And I see that a lot with riders. And then when it comes to them having to ride a correct line, whether it's a corner or a serpentine, they ride something in the middle and it's just not accurate riding, and then they'll take that into a test and wonder why they can't get the marks that they want. So yeah, really differentiate. Are you riding a corner? Then make it a corner. Straight sides up to the corner. Are you riding a curve? Then it should be a whole curve. You know, your year 3, don't let your geometry teacher down. Curves are on a circle and corners have straight lines before them. Okay. So that is the workout 3A from the Dressage with Sally Novice Guide. I hope that you can have a go at this, have a ride at your next opportunity, and let me know how you go. I love to hear how people have found the exercises and the workouts. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you being here. There's so much more to take up our time. So thanks once again, and I'll talk to you soon.